Admiral Wei stood before the massive observation window of the United Earth Command Station. Her eyes reflected the blue glow of distant stars. Behind her, the holographic display showed burning colonies, human colonies, 17 million dead in a single night. They had struck without warning. For 150 years, humanity had protected the Empire from extinction. When the swarms threatened to consume their home worlds, humans answered their desperate call. Earth sent its young men and women across the galaxy. They fought and bled and died on foreign soil for a species they had never met. The war lasted 40 years. Humans lost 2 billion souls defending space. But they won. They pushed back and saved an entire civilization. They wept with gratitude. They called humans their eternal brothers. They signed treaties of friendship that were supposed to last forever. Humanity asked for nothing in return except peace. They wanted only to be good neighbors in the vast darkness of space. Admiral remembered her grandmother's stories. Her grandmother had served in that war. She spoke of children throwing flowers at human soldiers. She spoke of celebrations that lasted for weeks. They built statues of human heroes in their capital cities. They taught their children songs about the brave warriors from Earth. Now those same had murdered 17 million innocent people while they slept. The door behind opened with a soft hiss. General entered the command room. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. He had family on Colony 7. He had a daughter there. She was only 12 years old. "Admiral," he said, his voice cracked. "We have confirmed the attack pattern. It was coordinated. All 17 colonies were hit at the exact same moment. They used weapons we gave them, ships we helped them build, technology we shared freely." Did not turn around. She continued staring at the stars. "Why?" Placed a data chip on the table. "Our intelligence agents intercepted communications from the High Council. They believe humans have grown too powerful. They fear we will eventually conquer them. They decided to strike first. They call it a preventive measure." "A preventive measure," repeated the word slowly. Each syllable tasted like ash in her mouth. "We gave them everything. We saved their entire species. We asked for nothing. And they murdered our children because they were afraid we might someday become their enemies." She finally turned to face. Her eyes were cold now. The grief was still there, buried deep, but something harder had risen to the surface. Something ancient. Something that humanity had learned to control over centuries of civilization. Something that they had clearly forgotten. Humans were predators. "How many ships do we have in range?" asked. "The Third Fleet is positioned near the border. 47 warships. But Admiral, they have over 200 vessels in their defensive line. They anticipated our response." Smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. They anticipated a response from the humans they knew, the peaceful humans, the generous humans, the humans who forgave and helped and protected. They do not understand what they have awakened. She walked to the central command console and activated the emergency broadcast system. Her voice would now reach every human ship, every colony, every station across the galaxy. "This is Admiral Wei of United Earth Command. By now you have all heard about the attack. You have seen the images. You know the numbers. 17 million of our brothers and sisters are dead. Children, parents, grandparents, murdered in their beds by those we called friends." She paused. Her voice grew stronger. "For 150 years we showed the galaxy what humanity could be. We were kind. We were generous. We were peaceful. We believed that if we treated others with respect, they would treat us the same way. We were wrong. They have made a terrible mistake. They looked at our kindness and saw weakness. They looked at our peace and saw fear. They forgot the truth about humanity. They forgot what we did to the swarms. They forgot that we did not win that war through diplomacy. We won because when humans fight, we do not stop. We do not surrender. We do not forgive. Today, I am authorizing Operation Final Answer. Every ship capable of combat is to report to designated staging areas. Every factory will begin producing weapons. Every citizen who can hold a rifle will be trained. We did not want this war, but we will finish it. They wanted to see what humans look like when we stop being kind. They are about to find out. She ended the broadcast. The command room was silent. Stared at her. Admiral, they have allies. The Federation might join them. They might provide support. We could be facing half the galaxy. Then half the galaxy will learn the same lesson. His voice was flat. Contact Admiral in the Pacific sector. Tell her to begin mobilizing the reserve fleets. Contact General Park in the Asian theater. Tell him to activate Protocol 7. His eyes widened. Protocol 7. Admiral, that protocol was designed for extinction-level threats. It mobilizes every military asset we have. It puts the entire human economy on a war footing. I know exactly what it does. But they have 200 ships. We would be deploying thousands against them. It would not be a war, it would be a slaughter. Walked back to the observation window. Her reflection stared back at her. She looked tired. She looked old. She looked dangerous. Do you know why humans survived when so many other species did not, General? It is not because we are smarter. It is not because we are stronger. It is because when something threatens us, we do not respond proportionally. We respond with overwhelming force. We destroy threats completely. We make certain they can never threaten us again. They killed 17 million humans because they were afraid of what we might become. They were afraid of human ambition, human expansion, human power. They thought that by striking first, they could contain us. She turned to face one final time. They were right to be afraid, but they should have stayed afraid. They should have let their fear keep them peaceful. Instead, they let their fear make them stupid. And now they will understand why the rest of the galaxy tells stories about the war beasts from Earth. 3 months later, they burned. Not because humans wanted revenge, not because they enjoyed destruction, but because they refused to surrender. They fought until the last ship was destroyed. They fought until every weapon was spent. They believed their own propaganda about human weakness. They believed that if they held out long enough, humans would grow tired and negotiate. They did not understand. Humans had tried peace. They had tried friendship. They had tried kindness. For 150 years, they had been everything they could have asked for, and they had responded by murdering sleeping children. There would be no negotiation. There would be no mercy. There would be no second chance. The human fleet did not simply defeat the military. They dismantled it. Every ship, every station, every factory that could produce weapons was turned to dust. The technological progress that humans had helped them achieve over a century was erased in a single month. Admiral stood on the bridge of her flagship as the final crumbled. There was no satisfaction in her heart, only emptiness. She had hoped, even until the end, that they would see reason, that they would realize their mistake, that they would apologize and try to rebuild what was lost. But they never did. They went to their deaths cursing humanity, calling them monsters, claiming that this proved they were right to attack first. They never understood. They never would. The galaxy watched in silence as the Empire collapsed. Other species who had considered joining them suddenly remembered previous commitments, previous treaties, previous reasons why they could not possibly interfere in what was clearly an internal matter between old friends. The Federation sent a message of condolence for the human lives lost in the original attack. They offered to help rebuild the destroyed colonies. Suddenly, everyone wanted to be humanity's friend again. Ignored them all. She returned to Earth. She visited the memorial that had been built for the 17 million. She read the names of the dead, all of them. It took her 3 days. When she finished, she made one final broadcast to the galaxy. For 150 years, humanity offered peace to everyone who would accept it. We asked only to be treated with the same respect we showed others. We believed that kindness was strength. We still believe that. But we have learned a new lesson as well. Kindness must be protected, peace must be defended, and those who mistake gentleness for weakness must be taught the truth. We did not want to destroy we wanted to be their friends. We wanted to share the stars with them in peace. They chose a different path. They chose blood, and blood is a language humans speak very well. To the rest of the galaxy, we offer the same friendship we offered before. Trade, culture, knowledge, cooperation. We will help you build. We will protect you from threats. We will be the best neighbors you could ask for. But remember what you witnessed here. Remember what happens when you betray human trust. Remember We gave them 150 years of peace. They repaid us with bloodshed. Now they are gone and we remain. That is the price of betrayal. That is the justice of humanity. Choose wisely. The broadcast ended. Admiral walked away from the memorial. She did not look back. There was nothing more to say. The dead were honored. The guilty were punished. The lesson was taught. Humanity returned to peace. They rebuilt their colonies. They welcomed new friends. They traded and explored and created beautiful things. But they never forgot, and the galaxy never forgot either. For the next 1,000 years, whenever a species considered breaking a treaty with humanity, their leaders would gather in secret rooms and whisper the same question. Remember And the answer was always the same. Yes, we remember. And the treaties held.